Bum 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 bum. Boom 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 boom. Oh, boom 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 boom. Alrighty. Hello everyone. Welcome once again to a Prog Reborn. My name is M. Kosler. We left yesterday's stream, or last stream, with the need to go and check out all these speeches for the different city-states. We made our way to Canacena in Gridania. And that's where we left off. We are still making our way through our progression playthrough. Jobs still pretty in line. The only thing that I think that I missed, other small things, we went and got our, speaking of, we need our retainers. We went and got the ability to extract materia from our spirit bonded gear, which is going to be a huge increase in the amount of gold that we have, which means that I'm not going to be needing to worry about spending any money to travel around, especially while I'm not in a guild. They don't have the reduced aetheryte fees. Heading here because I need to go to my summoning bell. See if anything's sold. A couple things sold. Enzyme materia, there we go, 42. Cool. Especially at these really low levels, you always get these like level 1 materials, and those are very often used as part of transmutation. Sorry, not transmutation. What do they call it? Overmelding. That's right. And so you can get quite a bit from selling those early on in the game. Chunk. Honestly, I should for all this stuff, till I know for certain. I should keep it. Retainer. Dodo feather. Yeah, for all that kind of stuff, we should keep it in the retainer. Not the elegant pieces, we need to sell those. Mole meat, we can definitely sell. Or keep, I mean. Here is the culinarian, tool supplier, battlecraft supplier, jeweler. Get up to 99 eggs. Apothecary, tinker, mender. There we are, culinarian. So I've got 7. So cool. So I've been thinking about which. There's two things that I'm thinking about. It's who do I want to be my grand company, and then the second is, do I want to max out all three as part of the 2.0 experience? And I don't know. I think that's going a little overboard. But we'll see. We'll see how long it actually takes.
My son to the calamity. The three seed seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body.
Is that the archer girl?
Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the green wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hure and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seed Seer.
There's a lot more to tell them apart than I remembered.
Represent the unity between Hure and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost.
How does this hair even work?
As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day. For soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk the high roads without fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you, join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the
For
forest.
the elementals!
Some incredible nerdy fucking townsfolk. Couple things I want to talk about before we when we get a chance.
If you'll permit me, Alfie no.
Alfie, no.
And my sister, Alize, at your service.
Alize. God, these voice
I
actors.
saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler.
Communist.
You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
Oh God. Save. Now I get to it. Okay. The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have to contend with two beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably the more troublesome, being of a naturally warlike disposition, and are wont to summon their bloodthirsty primal, Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians, until recently at least. Alas, they have grown aloof, a change observed at roughly the time they summoned the primal Ramu. The Gridanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. Yet how long will that take? Centuries, I'd wager. Meanwhile, the Ixal will continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later all will come out, or it will come to all-out war. And when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them? Alrighty, so a couple things. One, there were many more things about the twins' outfits that distinguished them than what I remember. From the two big ones, the two ones that I think people often point to, is leave Alphino has the earring on the left side, and Alize has the earring on the right side. The other huge one is the color of the ribbon on their long ponytail. Alphino's got the blue, Alize's got the reddish pink. But they also have those little... The thing that I noticed this time was they had those little gems sort of on their weird jacket thing. And it was again that red and blue distinction. Is there something else, or was it just that? Was that the only other new thing? I think there was something else, but I can't remember it now. Other thing, they go into it later at some point, and I can't remember exactly. I think it has to do with the White Mage job quests, but the Seed Seers, so we had Kane, which is the Elder Seed Seer, the one who gave the speech, and then you had the boy with the hair over the eyes, which is Arun, and then the girl with the pigtails was not really pigtails. The girl, the red-haired girl, was Raya O, and then you had the Conjurer Guildmaster Isumi. They go into it at some point during quest, but they also go into it in the Encyclopedia Eorzea. They are all Pajals or Pajals, or Pajali, which are primary. I think they're all Hyur that at some point early in their lifetime, while living in the Twelves Wood, the elementals who they talk about, the elements that protect the Twelves Wood, sort of attune to them in some way, which causes them to grow those horns. I remember the first time I played through this, I thought those were just like part of their headdresses, but those are actually on their head. Cause them to grow those horns, basically cause them to stop aging, and cause them to live a very long time. Or I don't know how long, very long, longer than a normal Hyur lifetime. And at some point in Gridanian history, they decided to consider the Pajali to be sort of ripe for leadership. And so you're usually going to see a Pajal leader in the Elder Seed Seer in this case. It's Hrothgar running around picking up stuff. I don't know. At some point, I remember somebody talking about the Elder Seed Seer and Raya-O and Alrune all being related. I don't know if that's in a sense of they're being related actually by birth, or if they're related in they are Pajali. And then I think Isumi is just entirely different. And I think Isumi is technically the oldest of them. Other thing, you heard Alphino talk about the elementals. And I should have said this before I got started on this. I thought about saying it, but I forgot to say it. This is not a React playthrough, so my main character is current through patch 6.5. So if you are worried about spoilers in any way, then this is your warning to back out now. What was I gonna say? Right, Alphino was talking about the elementals protecting the 12's wood, and then oh yeah, Kane also mentioned it. I think if you look, if I go to Temtara, Gelmorin, if I remember correctly, I'd have to pull up the Encyclopedia Eorzea. I believe, well, I know she mentioned it right there, that after some calamity, one of the calamities, some folks, I think primarily elves, migrated to the 12's wood, but the 12's wood has basically always been protected by these eponymous elementals. And they don't really like people just showing up. So they kind of like fought against them. And I think this is prior to Amdapor, the Amdapor and Mock stuff. So I could be mixing up the order of that. It might be after the Amdapor Mock stuff. So folks who migrated and lived in the 12's wood, they couldn't stay above ground because the elementals would revolt against them and harass them and harry them and maybe even kill them. I don't know. If not kill them, then make their lives miserable. And so they stayed underground for a long time until the elementals got used to them, something like that. Alphino spoke something about the joining of the Hyur and Elizin as a part of that flag of Gridania, the entwined serpents. I think all throughout history, Hyur are analogous to humans, and Hyur are nomadic, or I wouldn't really call them colonizers because they're not like, it's not like an empire. It's more nomadic settlers that sort of spread out and go all over the place. They also came into the 12's wood, and I think at some point there was a clash between the Elizin and the Hyur that eventually led to peace. All these gates opening are bots running underground, I can guarantee that. Maybe not. Maybe that one was a real person. Yeah, a lot of interesting little tidbits that from there that are just kind of touched upon. They go into more, especially during Encyclopedia Eorzea, and I would like to find out if they go into them as well, also fairly deeply in these side quests. Which is kind of why I'm doing this. Or not. There's a bunch of reasons why I'm doing this challenge, but that's one of them. Let's clear out some of these quests. Self Gratitude. Estain, the caretaker of Mikito's amphitheater, needs a venture to help her tidying up. Come to see Mikito's famed amphitheater, have you? I am Estain, caretaker of this fine centerpiece of Gridanian culture, and I fear I must needs trouble you for your assistance. See, it is not only well-meaning men like yourself who are drawn to this place. The sylphs often visit in the dead of night, long after our citizens have gone to bed. We have no particular objection to their presence, and they seem grateful for the accommodation. So much so, in fact, that last night they left us a token of their appreciation, in the form of vegetables. A lot of vegetables. The generosity is more than welcome, of course, but the sheer quantity of the things makes gathering them all something of a chore. It's not that as if I don't have enough to do already. In short, I'd be most grateful for any help you can give me. There is a Sylph tribal quest that goes... that expands upon, I don't know if it really expands upon it, but it gives another example of this type of show of gratitude by the sylphs. They basically make you do it. Hawthorne Hut, well, whatever the place East Shroud is. But my friend Mikito herself would sing you praise. She knew all well the power of art and how it could strengthen the soul of a nation and preserve its history for future generations. The amphitheater was her greatest gift to Gridania, and it was her wish that all folk use it freely, not only for performances and festivals, but as a place to share memories and make new ones. I wonder if the sylphs come here to do just that. That said, I do wish they would find other ways to express their gratitude. We have no need of vegetables here, but mayhap the Carline Canopy can make use of them. Anyway, thanks be to the elementals for bringing you here today. Boom, boom. Sorry about the train there. You there, adventurer. Could you deliver a message for me? My superior, Millicent, is stationed outside Atelier Ben-Il. She's doubtless busy, but I'm past due to be relieved. Long past due, truth be told. However, I can't simply abandon my post. Speak to her for me, would you? Choose your words wisely. She has a bit of a temper. What's this all about? De Masson says he needs his break. The nerve of that sniveling little shite, crying for relief at a time like this. Has he already forgotten how short-handed we are since that business with the Ixal the other day? Sending a bloody unknown venturer to do his bleeding, no less. That self-serving sod thinks only of his own woes, rubbing his sore soles while becoming all manner of gill-grabbing venturers into our holy wood. Useless bloody fool. Makes me blood boil, does. Not you, I should be given a piece of my mind to. You seem a decent enough sort, considering. Still, understand that it's our duty to keep an eye on every stranger that passes through these parts. Any word, I appreciate you lending an ear to my subordinate. Damn fool that he is. Go on then and stay out of trouble. couple more over here. Simpkin. Stout Elm, a Hell's Guard. Conjurer Melaine seeks an assistant for frantically busy students. You there, you're an adventurer. Yes, good, I have a task for you. Take yourself over to the Conjurer's Guild and speak with my student, Briya. She has her hands full preparing for the auguries and would likely welcome your assistance. In her excitement at becoming a conjurer, I fear my young disciple is pushing herself beyond the limits of endurance. Enthusiasm is all well and good, but it would not do to have an initiate collapse from exhaustion. Speaking of conjurer, want to some Halatali. Get it off on the checklist. This is what I want. I don't think we get conjurers get their AoE, or white mages get their AoE until like level 50. I don't think we're gonna see it until I unlock white mage. Boom, boom, boom. I don't think I'm a huge fan of Halatali as a dungeon. I really dislike the conceit of it. Well, that's not the right word. The design of it. You kind of go down these branches, and then you finish going down a branch, and you just take like a completely doesn't make sense teleporter to the next area. It really seems as if they wanted to do a different type of design other than a very linear style dungeon design that they typically do, but I don't think it works. They wanted to have their cake and eat it too, where you have a non-linear dungeon, but you don't have to backtrack. So you don't really feel the non-linearity of it. Every single one of these poles has been treasure. It's a little wild. Boom, 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 boom. Feeling, especially at low levels like this, incredibly easy. Incredibly easy. And it's even easier when you're a what you call it, when you're a scholar. Easy peasy. Dolly off the list. Is with this shadow. Excellent, excellent. Go through and equip a bunch of stuff. Cool, cool, cool. Some main. Go scattered rose hips. Stop right there. Not another step. I apologize if I startled you, but please be careful. The ground here is covered in rose hips. See, my seed pouch has grown so threadbare that it finally split open. Unbeknownst to myself, I've been scattering Azima rose hips all along this road. Good sir, would you help me gather them? I'd be ever so grateful. Thank you. Your kindness is truly a blessing from the elementals. The rose hips should be lying on the road between here and Great Loam Growery. Remember to tread lightly, lest you crush them underfoot. Azima, another reference to Azima. Ended up choosing Lim Lane. Yes. I think thematically, thematically for my character, I'm a sea wolf. I chose Lim Lane. It feels like I should choose the Maelstrom. It's my grand company. But I think I'm going to choose Order the Twin Adder. Ethelred. Gods damn it, another adventure. You're like flies on muck. Whatever Gridania did to deserve such a plague, I don't know. I suppose times are changing, and they keep telling me I should, and perhaps you might be. Oh gods, help me. Just take this Azima Rose to Walu of Stillane Fane, will you? Well, what are you still standing there for? Go and deliver this bloody rose. Any others? No. Boom, 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 boom. Sir, pray tell me you've recovered all those rose hips and abandoned not one to a traveler's boot. Your fruit of an Azima rose. Blessings will be upon ye. I feared this path would be lined with roses next year. Not that such a wondrous sight would be wholly objectionable, but Azima roses are ill-suited to this location. As a botanist, it's my responsibility to see Gridania's plants grow and thrive in the most ideal conditions. A place for every seed in its place, you might say. It was most gracious of you to aid me in my time of need. I pray the elementals extend you the same kindness. Boom, boom, boom. One thing I'm not totally aware of is, so we're in Old Gridania and then there's New Gridania. I don't necessarily know if that is actually a part of the 2.0 change, or if they always had Old Gridania and New Gridania, or if all of Gridania was one and then they split them into two separate zones for some reason. Welcome, adventurer, to the Conjurer's Guild. Here we commune with the elementals and heed their guidance, yet I must confess the elementals did not whisper of your coming. Single Red Azima Rose, trusted you by Ethelred. You did indeed request an Azima Rose from Ethelred, but that you should bring it to us in his stead means something wonderful has happened. Ethelred has long held a grudge against the many adventurers who have passed through Gridania's gates. His beloved flowers are renowned for their beauty, you see, and were once so highly coveted by Old Don collectors that they were picked nigh to extinction by fortune-seeking foreigners. Yet, if it is peace we desire, we must all learn to look beyond mistrust born of the past and overcome our prejudices. So as the Elder Seedseer taught us, and so do we live. I doubt it was easy for Ethelred to entrust the Zazima Rose to you. When he hears we have received it, he will come to know that not all outsiders are deserving of scorn. Truly, it was by the will of the elementals that you came to us this day. Please accept this token of our gratitude. There's a ton of... would you call it xenophobia? Because I wouldn't really call it racism. What the archer exhibits in the Archer Quest, the what you call it, the Elysian Archer, the Archer Quests, you could probably call racism. But this is just more hatred of foreigners. Yes, I am Briar, but I am also awfully... You said that Lady Melaine herself asked you to assist me? In that case, I suppose you might lend a hand, especially as mine appear to be shaking, though only very slightly. Not that it is anything to worry about. Mere nervous energy. It would be exceedingly grateful if you would take the Zazima Rose oil and refill the censers. There are two that require attention. Please have care not to disturb the conjurers in their meditations. You must be as quiet and unobtrusive as possible. Fragrant oil pressed from freshly harvested as it grows hips. Lot of Azima Rose references here. My thanks. I must admit to being rather impressed by how faithfully you followed my instructions. I'd always considered adventurers to be an uncouth and rowdy lot, but I see you're capable of courtesy as well. Lady Melaine has a fine eye for character. You should feel honored that she chose you for this task. Alrighty. I know we're going to come back here, so I think it's time for me to head to Ul'dah. I think I still have set as my home point. Just forget. Something in my brain just doesn't make me realize that I can just do.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanima herself!
And Roban as well.
And Roban as well.
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore. Hurrah! Rauban! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of Nalthal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of...
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden, and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people. Ya for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Your Grace.
Raoban?
Raoban.
People of Ul'dah, I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measured that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the inferno, for we are by fire reborn! Forsooth?
The time is now!
Forsooth?
Meeting you again.
Was there anything else? Yeah, you can see the gems on their whatever the hell's going on that thing on their chest are different. Yeah, Alphino has the left ear and Alze has the right ear. The Uldans have a long history of conflict with the Amalja, the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. The Uldans do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So have they dealt with Ifrit thus far, smothering his flame each time he is stoked to life. Yet he is but one of several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Ul'dah has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultanate's coffers are bottomless. And even assuming they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amalja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Uldans send their forces to smite the primal, and though they invariably succeed, each victory is bought with blood. It is a war of attrition which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder, then, that the Immortal Flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventure of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. For their sake, I hope the Flame General's words struck a chord with you. It's hard not to be cynical of Ul'dah. It is a monarchy in name, plus a oligarchy in actuality. And Raban's speech, both Raban and the Sultana's speech, basically, sure, he calls out for where are the rich to give to the poor, or like, you know, calls out on people being greedy or whatever. But he is also rich as hell. He is on the syndicate, which explicitly means he is wealthy. And there's no doubt that being a monarch is wealthy. They get into this later, but they don't really get into it. They treat the monarchy like they kind of treat the British monarchy. But not even that. Like, I don't even know how they just kind of don't really take a critical eye, a really hard critical eye at the monarchy in this game. They bring it up a couple of times, but mostly it's your job is to uphold the monarchy. Because even if there are problems with the monarchy, their intentions are good, as opposed to the monarchy in and of itself being bad, regardless of how good the individuals that make it up might be. And so it's hard, like, that's why I'm saying it's hard to not be cynical at Ul'dah, because of all the prosperity and because of its direct encounter with mostly Alamegan, but all throughout multiple different areas, migration to Ul'dah, multiple different areas of refugees, migration to Ul'dah, and how they really handle it. So I was going to say, back when Alizé was all snippy about the how do we honor those that we can't remember, a lot of people dislike the twins at the start because of how cynical they are, but then I immediately think about how cynical you kind of have to be with the Uldans if you put any sort of critical eye to it. Revolutionary new medicine. Ah, yes, yes, yes. At last my work is complete. Mark my words, this formula will revolutionize alchemy as we know it. With just a sip of this tonic, even raging fevers will be instantly extinguished. But it must needs tested, adventurer. While I produce more, I bid you take this batch to Pearl Lane, to a man named Landabert. He is trusted by the other refugees. Persuade this Landabert to take my tonic and give it to his people. I require nothing in exchange. After all, if it is truly effective, it will be a tremendous boon to the advancement of the alchemical arts and mankind at large. Yes, please give this weird, untested tonic to refugees. Have them be your guinea pigs. Medicine for the sick. Earthy smelling medicine created by budding alchemist Aelwyn Alder. We're not fools, boy. We know full well what that bastard Aelwyn is up to. But we'll accept his medicine nonetheless. Look at us, beggars can't be choosers. Might be as if it's a mere experiment to him, but to us it's a matter of life and death. You've got to choose between this bastard's swill and nothing at all. Is it really a choice? Guess you make a point. You come here by choice, and if you're still bearing medicine, your kindness shouldn't go unrewarded. This vase is important to us, but I want you to have it. It's just some old pottery, I know, but it might be valued by collectors of cultural artifacts. There are men who are willing to pay good coin for such objects. If you go to the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, chances are you'll find one of them. Welcome, welcome. What might a discerning gentleman like yourself be looking for today? Permit me to examine this vase of yours. I hope you did not spend too much coin on this trash. A flood of like items brought in by refugees has destroyed what demand once existed. Markets are fickle, my friend. If you lose sight of current trends, you stand to lose everything, as I once did. Market wards once bore my name, until fate and hubris reduced me to this. For your sake, I pray that you do not have to learn this lesson the same way I did. Anybody else in this area? No, there's a couple over by the Weavers Guild. Conniving ne'er-do-well. Leech. Yellow Moon is a character. Side character. No, this doesn't match at all. I can't have him. I can't let him see me like this. What's a girl to do? Ethelwine appears vexed by his work at the Weavers Guild, is in need of a helping hand. Something in a cream? Whatever shall I do? This dress, and just can't seem to finish it. Well, the design is flawless, absolutely flawless. Of that I have no doubt, but I simply cannot settle on a color for the life of me. How would you like to conduct a bit of field research for me? I'm dying to know what color the ladies of Ul'dah are wearing these days, especially on Houston's Strip. And when you finish, please call on Leuku of the Alchemist Guild. The woman is a wizard with dyes. Have her cook up whatever color you find is most popular. Juliana of the Weaver's Guilds finds herself at a troubling loss of manpower. If it's simply work you seek, the Weaver's Guild welcomes you. Indeed, your timing is impeccable. A soiree is to be held with all of Ul'Dah's elite in attendance. Once the invites went out, the orders came in, and that with a fury. Every lord and lady from Cape Deadwind to the Cinderfoot is demanding the latest fineries. I need hands, and I need them now. I cannot spare time to go off and search for them. Would you care to aid us, friend? I ask no more than you welcome to our doors any willing souls you might find. Come on, let's see how you fare. Show me your warmest welcome. Excellent, I dare say. I would work for you myself. Now hurry off, we need those people. The Uldans have a weakness for fashion. Why, just look at me. I've taken the trouble to match my wrap to my hair. Ravishing, no? Gods, I cannot contain myself thinking of the new dresses that will be at that party. Invited. The Weavers are recruiting, finally my chance to become a famous designer. Work at the Weavers Guild? I'd be lying if I say I weren't interested. To whom might I go to inquire further? We're looking for a model. Oh, you naughty boy. Flattery will get you everywhere. I appreciate the offer, but I must refuse. I'm all thumbs when it comes to stitching and whatnot. Fancy my garb, do you? Well, you should. It's all the latest rage. So the Weavers need help, do they? Sorry, friend, I'm all set for coin. What do you want? I have no time for your shenanigans. You're getting in my bloody way, now piss off. Even work? Take a look at me, friend. I'm a bloody guard and on duty, no less. Move along now. Most popular color of late? Well, all colors have their merits, of course, but if pressed, I'd have to say red. Why, any color is perfectly fine for a dress, you silly thing, as long as it comes off easy at the end of the night. So we got a red and any color. What color is in fashion? I must say, I'm just back from Gridania, and I find there's a certain verve to verdant livery. Green, you bloody idiot. This color for a dress. Well, you know what they say, once you go black, you never go back. Yellow. What fairer color than that in the name of the fairest maiden? Yellow moon. Oh, yellow moon, how my heart pines for you. Yellow moon reference. There's never a shortage of white dresses in our Uldan ladies. Surely it is the most comfortable color to wear under this murderous sun. I don't think we've had a repeat. Black, red, yellow, white. Personally, I've always had a thing for a motley of red and green overlaid with stripes of purple and dark brown. Oh yeah, we also had a green. That guy's all over the place. Red, ever as always. This is Uldan, my dear boy, where the sun beats on your back with fiery fists, and the sins and sands are as hot and unforgiving and ever at once. We Uldans live for our passions, and our lust for life is surpassed only by our lust for lust. You're here on behalf of the Weavers Guild, are you not? Yes, Ethel Wine said you'd be along. Well, what color is it to be, then? Sounds like you have 2 votes for red, 1 vote for green, yellow, white, and black, 1 abstaining, and 1 vote for a motley of red and green overlaid with stripes of purple and dark brown. By no means a resounding victory, but I suppose red it shall be. I have some catalysts I've been saving for just such an occasion. Mark my words, I'm going to concoct the most vibrant red Uldan has ever seen. Alchemy may look arcane and esoteric to the uninitiated, but it is grounded in naught but science and experimentation. Indeed, I dare say it does more to advance culture and civilization than nigh any other discipline. Boom, 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 boom. Those eyes are those of a man in love, not by worry and doubt. He appears to be waiting for someone who's yet to arrive. What could be keeping her? My beloved Yellow Moon and I promised to meet at this very spot, but 2 bells have passed, and never a word from her. Gods, I hope she's all right. As much as I wish to go off and find her, I simply cannot. What if she were to come in my absence? Please, would you search for her in my stead? It's possible she's somewhere near the Weavers Guild. She always enjoyed watching the gods. Do you think she left me for someone more dapper? Try not to look a bumpkin, but I've no mind for fashion. Boom, 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 boom. Power gotta be good. Just look at me. This hair, this outfit, they don't match at all. I look atrocious. What was I thinking? No, I can't let a bitter snow see me like this. Maybe that last tunic was best after all. No, perhaps the blue. Bitter snow is waiting for me, but I haven't anything to wear. You've returned. Well, how did you fare? 2 potential recruits, you say? Welcome news. Hope their zeal for fashion will show in their efforts for the guild. What we do here may seem all silk and satin, to be sure, but the work within these walls is far from easy. That, I suppose, our trade is not unlike any other. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. One more near the Gladiators Guild. Ah. What have you done? Your kind has no business to even look at a lady such as I. Such shocking, unbelievable insolence. Now look at how my gill is scattered across the ground. Pick it up right this instant. My gill now, and there better be naught missing. Faint aroma of prosperity can be detected on this freshly minted gill. This appears to be everything. What are you still staring at? Are you expecting some kind of reward? The insolence. Zazariku needs an adventurer to pick up an order from the Goldsmiths Guild. Have you come to wish me luck? I appreciate the thought, but there's no need to worry. What? You don't know who I am? I'm the next biggest thing to come that's coming to the Colosseum. Zazariku is my name, and you'll be hearing all about my exploits in the coming days. I even thought of a title myself, of the Garnet Gladiator. Reminds me, I've yet to collect the circlet I commissioned from the Goldsmiths Guild. You wouldn't mind picking it up for me, would you? Boom, ba, ba, boom. Boom, 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 ba, boom. A piece of parchment detailing an order for a gaudy circlet. Zazariku's circlet. Just a moment, sir. Oh dear, this is so embarrassing. I'm afraid crafting the circlet to Zazariku's exact specifications has proven somewhat difficult. We ran out of garnets halfway through our work, and we're still waiting on the next shipment. I hate to impose, but would you explain the situation to Crooked Half at the Miners Guild? My records indicate that he was supposed to deliver the gemstones yesterday. Mayhap it slipped his mind. Bum bada bada bum 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 bada bum bum. I have a mind to drain a pipe, so hurry up and speak your business. What? She wants how many bloody garnets? 7 hells, man, they don't grow on trees. More than that, this lad what fancies himself the next friends of the fair ought to worry less about style and more about swordplay. Anyway, I'll do my part to ensure the little bastard gets bedecked in all the goddamn garnets he can afford. If he dies in his first fight, we'll at least still have a pretty corpse. I think we're clear with this area. I think there might still be a little more in this part of town. Maybe not. See it until you actually go there. Quite a few, in fact. Erasmus of the Thaumaturge's Guild is preoccupied with his studies, but his brow is furrowed in a way that cries out for help. I'm Erasmus of the Order of Nullthal, and I am charged with studying the anatomy of this region's fauna and the environs in which they dwell. For the dark art of our orders, death itself, and power over death can come only through knowledge of life. One day I shall publish my findings in a single comprehensive volume, The Many Breaths of Thanalan. But there is much work to be done before that day. Aid me, brother, bring me 5 bottles of marmot blood, and perhaps I shall name you in a footnote. Marmots are hardy creatures that thrive nigh everywhere. You'll most certainly find them just outside the city in western Thanalan, by way of the Gate of the Sultana. If you take care, they can be feisty little creatures when threatened. Let's go kill some marmots. Oh, right. This was the job that I didn't have the buttons on correctly. It's X. Yeah, X is my ranged attack. Ladybug. Boom, 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 boom. The blood, have you brought it? Erudite Erasmus is convinced this frothy blood of a star marmot will help him better understand the life of the now deceased beastkin live. Yes, yes, this shall serve nicely. By virtue of your toil, I am one step closer to publishing the many breaths of Thanland. Thank you. Take this as recompense. Now go, and may the traders smile upon you. Boom, 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 boom. Judge Akuda, the merchant, is visibly perturbed and in need of some assistance. Tell me what brings you here, friend. Looking for a bit of work, perhaps? Some small job to add a little weight to that coin purse of yours, Well, you're in luck. The pugilists have just placed an order with me for several of the leather gloves and harnesses they use for sparring. But the traders are cruel, for I find myself lacking the hides required. Would that I had the pelts of a few snapping shrews. What say you, friend, Here to help a merchant down on his luck, Bring me 5 snapping shrew pelts, and I promise to make it worth your while. You can find the creatures roaming central Thanland. Gelther does not like the way you're looking at him, but we'll let it pass if you deliver a message for him. Hey you, I saw you looking at me. Get something to say, huh? No? Well, I do. You know Didi Lotta. Short, broke, never pays what he owes. Yeah, that bleeding whoreson. Tell him to pay up, or I swear by the 12 I'll beat him so hard that it'll feel like the second coming of Dalamud. And if I see that little shite's face, I'll end up pounding him into a bloody pulp, like it is not, so you go and tell him. Gods be good. Gelther's goon. Oh, all right. I'll give back every go I owe, I swear it, but no more beatings, I beg of you. Look, I haven't got the guild on hand, but I do have this ring. It ain't much to look at, but it'll surely fetch a high price. It was my dear departed mom's wedding ring, God's Wester Skull, but she'll understand. Show it to Mamaine over at the ossuary, and you'll get your coin. Greetings, adventure. What brings you to Arzaneth's ossuary? Though this extravagant ring would make anyone question Didilada's mother's taste in finery. You wish to sell this heirloom on behalf of Didilada? Very well. It's most unfortunate when such drastic measures must be taken. Undoubtedly so when the item in question is a fake, and such a gaudy, poorly wrought one. Also, you do know that our appraisals are not free. Normally this fee is subtracted from the agreed value. Alas, considering the negligible value of this ring, I'm afraid you would still owe us. However, since this is a rather unusual circumstance, we shall waive the fee this once. No need to concern yourself with the bauble. I'll personally see to its disposal. Hihito has had enough of her husband's poor work ethic. Needs someone to whip him into shape. How can that ossuary demand such exorbitant contributions every single moon? It's outrageous, I tell you. Don't they understand that a woman has needs? How do they expect me to pay for rouge and sun-soaked dresses and feed my marmot? If I only had the foresight to marry a more ambitious man. This is all his fault. If he just worked harder and showed some initiative, surely he would be rewarded, maybe even promoted. If things don't improve, it won't be long before I join the beggars in Pearl Lane. Save me from this cruel fate, I beg of you. Speak with my husband, Bobonima, and find some way to motivate him. You should find him at the Colosseum entrance wearing one of those ridiculous outfits. I am Bobonima. Congratulations, you found the world's worst husband. It is if you believe that harpy I have for a wife. Queen of the Harpies! Queen of the Harpies! Here's your crown, your majesty! She never cooks, she never cleans, she just gallivants around spending my hard-earned money. Now I see she's speaking ill of me to bloody strangers. Well, if you're hell's bent on meddling in my affairs, you can assist me by taking some of these Franz the Fair flyers and posing them on the walls inside the Colosseum. I've still got a long shift ahead of me standing out here, so I won't be getting to it anytime soon. When you've finished, go and tell Wolken at the Gladiators Guild. He should give you something for your trouble. Suave Southern Dandy. Not converse with commoners. Unwashed masses. Noticing the praises of one Franz the Fair, an extremely popular gladiator, as can be noted by the excessive use of exclamation marks. You helping Bobonima? Well, ain't that charitable of you. Franz has gotten pretty popular of late, and his fans keep stealing these flyers and taking them home as souvenirs. So you met Bobonima's wife. Now I understand. Sorry to hear you caught up in all that. If you ask me, they're made for one another. Not that it's my place to judge, mind. Any road, we appreciate your help. Get a little bit of the culture here. Waman would like to know what you think of old So, how you taking the old M? Making any new friends in high places yet? Oh, when you have the Sultana's ear one day, I hope you won't have forgotten about old Wemond. Long as you're here, mayhap you can do me a favor and take this missive to Josias at the Platinum Mirage. He's just over yonder, and the man will even give you some gil for your trouble. If only all work in the city was this easy, eh? Any business with Platinum Mirage today? Unmarked envelope contains a missive pinned by a local businessman, Wymond. A missive from Wymond. Alright then, let's have a look. Bird is barren, the hound's feast. What goes? Oh, this, well, you see, the guild is often contracted to provide protective services. Unfortunately for this particular petitioner, Wymond's investigation has revealed his finances to be wanting. Maybe adventurers like you don't mind working for free, but we have a business to run. I myself have 4 mouths to feed, so this bird will have to fend for himself, I'm afraid. So, this dance quest, I'm pretty sure not until later. Boltolf finds himself at a loss after realizing the package he carries is not his own. Pray tell me, catch my breath. I went all the way to Scorpion's Crossing for a package, but only just now realized I've returned with the wrong one. The way back is so far. I simply can't. Would you make the trip back in my stead? I'm sure some poor soul at Scorpion's Crossing is missing this package. I haven't the breath left to tell you the way. Go and see Mimishu. Kikizani is shirking duty and could do with a wake-up call. Sure, darling. You can come for a ride. Who are you even talking to? Huh? Where am I? Who are you? More importantly, where'd she go? I'm buggered and my shift start already. Hell's with it, I'm bleeding exhausted anyway. Mind taking this to Gigi Nasu at the dispatch yard outside the city? He'll probably give you something for the trouble. Boom, 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 boom. With this, we'll be completely done with Ul'dah. We have this Lord of the Dance, but like I said just a moment ago, it's not actually available in 2.1. Or sorry, 2.0. Scorpion Crossing. Way couldn't be simpler. Pass through this gate and head west until you come upon it. Delivering a package, are you? In that case, I want to speak with Oswell when you arrive. But this is not far outside the city. I am a massive fat ass, and even me, even I would make it there easily. It's gone, I just know it. Gods, if I hadn't enough problems already. You took the wrong package, Boltolf, you bloody oaf. The Horizon package, you're a 12 cent. You spared me quite a headache, friend. Thank you. If only there weren't so many other misplaced shipments plaguing me these days. We're not gonna worry about you yet. Make it to Central Thanalan. Boom, 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 boom. Wah, 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 wah. Way too dark to only be 4 o'clock outside. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to Central. Cool, cool. Papa Shan again. In the course of my official tenure as Sultan Sworn, I traveled the length and breadth of Eorzea. Those experiences molded me into the man I am today. You've been blessed with the skills and opportunities to do the same, and I pray you do not squander them. Anyone seen Kiki Nazi since last night? Anyone? Slip of paper indicating the various departure and arrival times of Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern freight trains. Hey, what are you doing with that timetable? I've been looking all over for it. Got it from Kiki Nazi, you say? Why that useless drunk? I wager he was out all night again, chasing after skirts. That's it. The next time he misses his shift, I'm tying him to the tracks. Alrighty. One more thing. I'm gonna come back here so we can... Limsa. Get the speech, and then we're probably calling it after the speech. So much to do, so little time. Here to attend the remembrance services. Be quick. The Admiral's due to give her address at any moment.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. 700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The Crimson Field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the Black Longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Gallian Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom Standard, and our Grand Company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners. And together, we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartino. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage. Yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishbuck
The Sahagin have risen?
While the mines of Ogomero spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Gallian Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves, till sea swallows all!
Long live the Admiral!
Admiral Melvin!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the 7 hells, Admiral!
fancy meeting you again.
Couple things about that. I believe the Knights of the Barracuda were her pirate crew before she took on leadership of Limsa. The Bloody Executioners are where Sigurd is from. Hilfir is the old pirate leader who is sick. See him in like 5.4. As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limsa is plagued by two beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Sahagin, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have chosen to erect a fortress right in the Laminson's backyard. And that is to say, not of internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions. And while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blades and watch. If the Laminsons are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside, and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I expect that they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom Standard will be drenched a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. Seems like the side that this thing is on matches with their ear. This has been Philia. I hope you are well, I hope. I'll be correct in thinking that the final remembrance service is now concluded. A moment ago, you say, what a coincidence. Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies. Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Waking Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. Pray return. Might do that before we get on out of here. That'll set me up with my choice. Set me up to getting my chocobo. I guess I make the choice right now, but then I'll have the ability to go get my chocobo. Anything new to say, Tataru? People let fame swallow their heads, but I believe that yours will remain in proportion and firmly attached to your body. Here. Brent isn't over there anymore, so it seems like destruction that visited this land cannot be attributed to the forces of the Empire alone. Oh wait, no, we read that one. She's praise me. Brent is over there. I just didn't see him. Okay, this is all the same. We've talked to these folks already. Welcome back, Im. Were the Grand Company's leader's words as illuminating as you had hoped? Each nation is beset with problems. I trust you see now why our services are in such demand. Whether there were more of you, Im. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while and take a moment to reflect on your decision? Once your mind is made up, pray give the Grand Company's officers your answer.
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral Era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alize, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady! We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
They're such little shits in the early part here. Just absolute little shits. Alphino just constantly feeling like he's smarter than everyone. Though they both are. They both do. Alice just doesn't have as much speaking to portray that. Just the way that they talk, it's also enigmatic might be the right word. They're just so like allude to things and all this kind of stuff. It's definitely improve upon the writing. Yeah, it's the same thing that you had said before. I take it the Elder Seedseer's words have touched your heart. Have you resolved to entwine your destiny with that of the Twin Adder? You've chosen wisely, my friend. The Elder Seedseer will be overjoyed. Without further ado, let us speak of practical matters. In order to complete the enrollment procedure, you must report to the headquarters in Gridania, the Adder's Nest. The building you seek stands in the southern part of the city, now called New Gridania. Give your name to the personnel officer there, and he will guide you through the formalities. I have no doubt, but your deeds will bring great honor to our order. When next we meet in Gridania, I shall be proud to call you brother. see if anyone has updated. Standing in any new spots. Brent is still here, so yeah, it's probably a no. I think that we're gonna set New Gridania to our home point and then call it a stream. Thank y'all so much for watching. Anybody who might be watching, lurking, or watching the VOD, thank you. Once again, we are going to finish up this Grand Company quest, get to see our buddies Wedge and Biggs. Probably work on getting our Chocobo, at which point things will definitely move a lot quicker. Literally and figuratively. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time I see you.